Hey, good evening, everybody. It is Sunday night, coming to you from a wet Memphis, Tennessee. Anybody that's been following the news knows that we've had some weather here in the Bluff City, and it's been affecting us in a variety of different um unexpected ways. But for the record, today is April 6th. This is Gary and Doug versus the World on Board Game Nation. And tonight we will be covering USSR 5 as well as Germany 5. And we've got a very big move in for the Germans and, well, for the Russians and for the Germans today. And the poll has now closed. And congratulations to Mind Blown, and this is his first set of orders being submitted, by the way. So pretty cool that he is going to be the commander of the day. And it's going to be it's an interesting. I thought the orders tonight were actually really, really interesting. A lot of similarities, of course, because as we get closer to the end of the game, you're going to see, fewer and fewer targets, right? So you're going to see kind of how that plays out, being a little bit more narrow. But how the different commanders go about it, I think, is interesting. And the chess of all of this as we come to the end of this game. Again, we're playing the anniversary edition. We're playing tournament rules. And in tournament rules, there's a time limit, which usually gets you to about 6 full turns. And so that's what we're going to be playing through in this particular game. So this is USSR 5. So we've got the rest of round 5 and then all of round 6 to play. So we've got some fun things happening. So Nathan, aka Mind Blown, is here. Great to see that. Again, congrats on being tonight's commander of the day. Brian and Tracy Hyde are here. Great to see you both. And Brian Conway is here. Wake Bill is here. Fantastic. We've got a pretty good number of folks already here. So I'm going to mention this again later, but I'm going to go ahead and tell everybody who is here now. The internet, for those of you that were watching on Friday at the very end, when the internet went out, when we like blacked out for a minute, we did not kill Doug. I saw that come in the comments later. Oh my God, they killed Doug. No, we didn't kill Doug. Doug is here, and he's alive and well, in a very wet Louisville. But the internet has yet to come back. So what we're working on tonight is the internet that I brought from home and set up here in the studio. So it is going to be slower than normal. So the latency or the delay from when I say something to when you hear something is going to be a bit longer. So it's going to make it a little more difficult for me to interact with the chat. So Mind Blown, I hope that you're going to be available to answer any questions because there's going to be this weird latency in all of this. And I apologize for that, but there's just nothing that we can do. AT&T is our survivor. Is our survivor, is our internet provider, and they are telling us that that'll be back in the next day or two. Yes, I know, guys. There is lag here, and that is what that's going to be for. And we're hoping that it picks up, but we're doing the best that we can with the internet that is available to us. If for whatever reason it should cut out completely, please give us just a few minutes. We do have a backup, which is essentially the mobile hotspot on my phone, which is what we went to on Friday night when we went dark for a couple of minutes. So it is going to be a little glitchy tonight, but it's what we got, guys. So I appreciate your patience with it, and we'll do our best to stay current in the chat and try to keep everything moving along here. So we've already got a good 35 people on, which is great. Has anybody else been impacted by the storm here? I know we've got some fine folks from Australia. It is still, I guess, fall for you guys, right? So I hope that that's going. I like fall. Fall's one of my 4 favorite seasons, that's for sure. So excellent. And yeah, I'm hoping that it'll clear up. We'll see. Sometimes it takes a couple of minutes, but I don't know. We're going to go to a quick break here, and we'll be right back. We've already got a bunch of people online. Go ahead and hit that like button for us, and we will be back in just a moment. Thank you very much. We came back. We came back with Doug. Everybody say hi, Doug.
Yeah, I'm here. What's up, Gary?
Glockenspiel to bring
I
Doug
like
on.
it.
Tales of his demise have been
Thank you, sir.
greatly exaggerated. He is here with us this evening. We're grateful to have him with us, and we've got a big one tonight. Everyone decided that they wanted to have a party in Persia. Um, I don't blame them. We had some cool things happening in Persia, so we'll
Very
have
sweet.
to see how all that plays out. Um, I don't know, man. This is going to be, man. I've been
Gonna
nervous
be
about a couple
interesting.
of battles in this game. This one's going to be a big one. We'll have to see how it plays out. So first, our disclaimers. Welcome to all, and we're thrilled that you are here. And if you are watching this but you cannot see the chat, we're sorry about that. But if you'd like to join that chat and Board Game Nation, you can go ahead and click that join button and select the level that is right for you, and you can then become a member, a citizen, as we call them, of Board Game Nation, and you'll get right into this chat, as well as access to our member-only sections of our Discord server. The Discord server is open to the public for the find a player and all of that fun stuff, and we'll drop that link in the chat here. But if you have not joined, it is going to make it hard for you to see the chat and to be able to join in here. So if that's something that you want to do, we'd love to have you as part of the conversation. You would also be able to vote on UK5. They're going to have some interesting choices on UK5. So if you want to participate in that, we would love to have you. We had a good number of votes today, so we're excited with the contributions that we've had thus far. So, what else? What else am I missing? Oh, yes.
I don't know.
I think you do know. I think you do know. We are
What's
having our first event. Um,
yeah.
BGN, that's Board Game Nation for those of you keeping track at home. BGN Battlefront Dayton is on the calendar officially for November 7th, 8th, and 9th. I am nailing down the final details with the hotel to get the contract all squared away so that we can be able to settle on pricing and get out sponsor packets to some of the different folks out there. But we are super excited about that. I think that's going to be a ton of fun. We're going to be playing, of course, we're going to be playing Axis and Allies. We're going to play Anniversary, 1942 Second Edition, as well as Global. And those, if you win those events, you are guaranteed a seat in Gen Con 2026 in those events there. One or more of which may be the World Championship. I am of the opinion that world champion, like, there doesn't just have to be one world championship title, right? It seems like to me that, like, you go to a swim meet and you've got the 200-meter fly champion, and you've got the freestyle champion, and you've got the backstroke champion, and those are all um, championships, right? So I don't know why you wouldn't have a 1942 second edition world champion, or a um, anniversary champion or global world champion. So I don't, that may or may not happen. I don't know. But either way, if you win the events that are happening in Dayton in November 7, 8, and 9, just outside of the Wright-Patterson Air Force Base, then you will be guaranteed a spot for those events at Gen Con in 2026, which is pretty cool. We will also be playing Diplomacy, the original and Era of Empire, as well as a diplomacy mystery game to be named later. We will not, unfortunately, we cannot share information about that game just yet. But what I have heard sounds very cool. I'm not gonna lie. So I'm excited about that, and we will be premiering that mystery diplomacy game at our event in November. So if you are a diplomacy nerd, we hope that you will join us there. It's going to be pretty cool. We're pretty excited about that.
That's
Oh,
exciting.
is anybody else going to be there? Doug, do you know anybody else going to be there?
I think I heard about somebody, guy
Well,
named
Doug's going to be
Jerry
there.
or Larry or something.
Yeah, well, and Doug's going to
Yes,
be
I
there.
do plan on
He's
being
a big deal. Yes, yes, yes. Mr. Larry Harris is currently on the docket to join us at that event. He will be standing for pictures and doing autographs and um, making fun of silly things that I'm doing, no doubt. We will be live streaming from that event, and we will be covering. Um, I haven't nailed down exactly how we're going to do it, but I'm pretty sure we'll have one or two featured tables that will have a live stream that is basically just live streaming the real time play of that game, which should be pretty cool. So we're excited about that. And there's apparently also a great deal of interest in Lord of the Rings Risk. Um, yes, apparently we're going to be playing Lord of the Rings Risk um, in different parts of the world. So um, I'm not sure. There's some fascination. I have a copy of this game. I did actually go look it up to see, like, okay, well, if I wanted to get another copy here, like, and they sell for, I think it's like $50 or something. I mean, they're not, you know, it's if you find this game like sitting at Goodwill or the thrift shop or whatever for $10, like, snatch it up, man, because it's a good game. So, what else we got? Oh, for Battlefront Dayton, we have also invited our friends that play in the Young Grasshopper variant, as well as the Bloodbath Rules guys that are all over the country. They're putting together a team. And Historical Board Gaming is going to be one of our sponsors, and they are likely to bring Global War 1936, which I'm looking forward to seeing kind of laid out. I think that's going to be pretty cool. And man, there's just so much on the docket there. Tickets are going to be limited. Our max capacity for this event was going to, we set it up so that we'll be at 200 as our max capacity. So we're hoping to be able to sell that event out. And once we do, then we will immediately start scheduling another event, probably in the spring. It may or may not be another BGN only event. We may partner with another con, like a small con. We're looking at some of the different options there. Mr. Coffee is here. Ed is here. Dave DeJour, of course, is here. Paul, good to see you. Um, okay, yeah. All right, great. So if you've got questions about that, hold on to them because I probably don't have any answers. But if you're interested in sponsoring that event, feel free to reach out and we would be happy to talk with you about that. But we'll have more information as it becomes available. But for now, save the dates, November 7, 8, and 9. Be ready to make your way to the beautiful city of Dayton, Ohio. And we're going to have some historical gaming and some modern gaming, and I think it's going to be pretty cool. And maybe some Middle Earth gaming. We'll have to find out. And some Napoleonic gaming. One of the things that Larry's going to be bringing is Imperial Borders, which I'm really excited about. Should be pretty cool. So, all good things.
Yeah, I'm excited to see that. Looking forward to
Yes,
it.
yes, yes. I'm afraid to ask this question, Doug. Is your roof leaking?
It is not. At least not that I know of yet.
Right. Um, it's been the running joke today. And so when I woke up this morning, my roof was still leaking. We went to a restaurant for breakfast this morning. They had a roof leak. We went to get our taxes done this afternoon. And the tax office, they had a roof leak. And then we
Oh
came to the
gosh.
studio, and there's a roof leak in the studio. So there's just like
Wow.
there's no ability to manage water in this city apparently at all. Um, Roofers are going to have a very busy week in this town. Let me say that.
It might be you and not the storm, Gary. It's hard to say.
That is certainly possible. It has been it's been a challenging few days. Somebody told me that we've had more than 12 inches of rain in 3 days, which is
That's
apparently
crazy.
supposed to be like a once in a thousand year storm. I don't know how that works, but that's a heck of a thing. Pino is up late from the Netherlands. Good to see you this evening. We are still working on getting him that copy of Robo Rally, but he has contacted us and has provided his shipping information. So that prize is actually going out the door to a winner. We're still waiting to hear back from Bob Gibbs about the 42nd edition signed rulebook from Mr. Larry Harris. So yes. If you know Bob, please let him know that he has a fabulous prize here waiting for him. Yes. We have Doug in blistering 80s VHS video quality again. Yes. This one we we actually do know what the cause of this one is this time. I mentioned it before we went into the break, but I appreciate everybody's patience. The internet that we lost on Friday at the very end of the live stream on Friday is still down. We are operating using my Wi-Fi router from home. And so it's a little bit slower than we would normally like it to be, obviously. So we appreciate everybody's patience with that. There's going to be a lot more lag than normal, and we're going to do our best to try to push through here and get this done and make sure everybody that we execute USSR 5 and get the Germans' fifth turn done as well. Worst case scenario, if for whatever reason the internet goes down again, we do have a backup, which is the hotspot on my phone, which is sometimes it's faster and sometimes it's slower than this. It's pretty bizarre. I don't really have a good explanation for it. But give us 20 or 30 seconds or maybe up to a minute. I don't want to get too ambitious there, but maybe up to a minute, and then we'll come back on, hopefully, and should be able to resume if we should get cut off in the middle of the show tonight. Yes. Let me say it this way, Pino. There is nothing crisp in Memphis today. No one's wearing a crisp shirt. There are no crisp vegetables. It's actually, we're used to a lot of humidity in Memphis, right? Let's just say that, like Memphis humidity, they're kind of synonymous. But it's all covered with water because it's condensating, because the metal is a little bit cooler than the ambient air. So we actually have to have towels that are sitting there, not because anything's leaking, but because it's gathering all of this moisture that's just hanging in the air. It's pretty wet. It's pretty wet. So, all right. All right. Yep. Okay, so let's take it over here. If you are feeling bad because it's raining like crazy in Memphis, please go ahead and hit that like button for us. We appreciate that. And we will, I know that it sounds silly, but it really does push the video out. Once the live stream is done, of course, it turns into a regular video that anybody can watch. And the more likes the video has, I've actually watched it happen. The more likes that a video has, the more views it then gets later. So we appreciate everybody kind of helping us out with that. I don't know why that is. My iPad for some reason.
I mean, the way I figure it, YouTube says there's about 50 people watching, so there should be about 50 likes, right?
That's what I'm saying, right? So I will say that a lot of the people that watch us on a television. You know what? This is a really good question. I would love to know the answer to this question. How are you watching this live stream? Are you watching it on your phone? Are you watching it on a TV or a desktop computer or a laptop? Or like, how are you watching? Because that makes a big difference, because on the television, it's actually quite a bit harder to subscribe to a channel or to join or to participate in the chat or to do any of those things. Like, it's much harder to do those things when you're watching it on a television versus on a phone or on a computer with a laptop. So it does make a difference. So okay, 58. All right, here we go. Phone, hotel, treadmill. You're in a hotel, you're on a treadmill, and you're watching on your phone. Okay. Traveling for work or fun, Bill? Um, I was like, I love travel. I love travel. I love to travel, and I love talking to people that are traveling. It's just one of my favorite things to do. So, all right, but now it is time to travel over to the down shot and get Soviet
Get
five
to
underway. Here we
business.
go.
Yeah,
Man, we need this
this is
one.
going to be interesting.
I'm not lying. We need some dice on this one. All right,
We need some
here we
dice.
go. Yep. All right. So
You got it.
um, I loved this purchase. I absolutely love this purchase. So it's an infantry and artillery, 2 tanks and a destroyer, and repairing one um, 1 point of damage from Karelia. I love this plan.
Very clever.
I do actually do. I really do think this is clever, um, because the battle in C Zone 5. I mean, of course, we were definitely eyeballing it to see if there was a way to, like, because I feel like if we could get in there and sink this fleet, that's kind of the ball game. Because if the UK can't come across, we're holding Poland. At the end, so it's they'd have to build transports again on UK 5, and then hope to be able to move again on 6, assuming that we just didn't sink them again. But now that there's going to be
Yeah.
a destroyer there along with the fighter, assuming the fighter survives, because I think that fighter is scheduled to go through East Poland. So there's a chance that that fighter gets shot down in East Poland by the AA gun, because AA guns in this game have
Which
absolutely been brutal. So,
yeah,
so the destroyer,
that is the one thing I'll say. I don't know if I like the risk there. I mean, I might just send another tank to East Poland and fly the fighter over, but we'll
right?
see.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting. Okay, so the official purchase for the Soviets' fifth turn is 1 infantry, 1 artillery, 2 tanks, a destroyer, and repairing 1 point of damage from. You know what? I don't know why I didn't use these damage markers. I have damage markers. We should just use the damage markers.
Mm.
Okay, so now there's 1 point of damage still remaining in Karelia. So actually, the way to do that is to put this here to show that we bought 1 point of damage. Is that the destroyer in this game?
There you go.
I have
It
to tell you,
is.
I have a hard time telling. Yeah, okay. I don't know the Soviet C units as well as I know all the other ones, so I guess that's a destroyer. Whether it turns out to be a cruiser later or not, I'm not sure, but I'm pretty sure that's the destroyer.
Yeah, I've definitely never seen a Russian cruiser or battleship. I don't know, or aircraft carrier. I don't know that I've ever seen a Russian destroyer before. So here we go.
Yeah, I've bought the Russian aircraft carrier before to give UK fighters a place to land. I've done that before, but I don't think I've ever
Got it.
bought a Soviet destroyer. That's cool. I like it, man. It's something new. All right, so
Yeah.
that's the
I
purchase.
like
Combat. Let's see what we got here.
combat.
So, from Russia via Belarus and Eastern Ukraine, 3 tanks and a
Mhm.
fighter. From here, 1, 2, 3 tanks and 1 fighter into East Poland. Okay, we're gonna give you East Ukraine just to make that easier. Okay, this is. Oh, where are you going? Right. I couldn't get my iPad connected to the internet, so I'm using my phone here. So I'm afraid I can't see any of the chat happening right now. So I'll get back to it once I'm done with this piece. I'll be able to look at it again. So if anything crazy happens in the chat, feel free to. Doug, you can pipe up and say something.
A lot of people just told us where they're watching from, and
Oh, okay, good.
then rooting for some good dice for the Allies. And
Mm-hmm.
then another person said, so far, I think the Allies have had slightly better dice as a whole.
I gotta agree with you
Yeah,
there.
it would be interesting to go back and look at the math on all of that. It feels that way, but it's when the dice are
Just
getting
the
rolled
AA
against you,
guns
it always
hits
feels
that the Allies have had.
better dice. Yeah, that's true. Yep. Well,
Okay,
this is
so
your chance. It's your chance to get it back.
Right, time to bring the dice into balance.
Mhm.
So 2 tanks from Russia to Persia, that comes through Caucasus. The fighter and the bomber coming from Russia into Persia. They have both moved 2 spaces. Caucasus is sending 3 tanks and 2 artillery. That leaves 1 artillery behind. Yeah, that is not something I accounted for.
3 tanks.
To my mathing.
Artillery.
I had all the artillery there moving.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, okay, yeah. So that artillery is moving. It's moving to Kazakh.
Oh, that makes sense.
Right, and then 2 infantry from Qinghai are moving to Kazakh, and the last guy is moving to Ningxia. Oh, he ran away. So he's stepping into there, which is an automatic win. Okay. And that is all of the attacks.
Okay.
Okay, so at this point, I'm gonna check in with Nathan. Nathan, is this correct? I know there's going to be some latency here to get through. I'm now looking back at the chat. Paul's using Roku. Interesting. Okay. That's cool. TV, laptop. Henry, great to see you. Thanks for being here. Brian Conway, thanks for being here. Thank you. Condi, welcome back. How was your cruise? Okay, so that makes for 5 tanks, 2 artillery, 1 fighter, and a bomber. 2 infantry and an artillery there. 3 tanks and a fighter into East Poland. And I think that is all of the fighting. Nathan has agreed that this is correct.
Okay.
Robin's at the airport in Minneapolis. Thanks for checking in with us, Robin. Are you going home or are you taking off, Robin? A little late to be getting on a flight out of Minneapolis, I guess. Okay. So, Nathan, I'm going to have you... We're going to start, I guess, with this battle in Kazakh, just to start small and work our way up. All right. Okay, so Kazakh, this is your 2 infantry. You're flying the Air Force One to Pittsburgh.
Remember, it'll be 1-1 and 2 2s.
Yes, you're right. Thank you. Okay, so here's your 1 infantry. Good call. Thank you, Doug. This is your 1 infantry in Kazakh. This is where we're fighting here. Get my magic wand. It's Kazakh. This is your infantry. Missing. This is your infantry and artillery. Both missing. This is our tank firing back. And missing. Man, that would have been nice. Here's your infantry.
Yeah.
Hits. Here's our tank.
Getting
missing.
Us on those ones.
Man.
Dang it.
Man. All right, that's going to be a problem. Okay.
Gotta catch up on one of these battles.
Man, you ain't kidding. All right, East Poland. This is our AA gun shooting your fighter. Oh, I saw it. It was right there. It was right
Mm.
there. I wanted that one. So that one missed. Okay, so this is. So you have 4 threes at this point. Oh, roll. You have 4 threes. 3 tanks and a fighter heading into East Poland. 2 hits. And we now return fire. This is our infantry at a 2. Missing. This is our tank at a 3. 1 hit. This is our fighter at a 4. No roll. Our fighter at a 4. Hits. Okay, so we got 2 hits. We will take, of course, we're going to take the tank and the infantry. I did it again. Axis losses. Okay. Okay, you've got 2 guys to lose here, Nathan. I'm going to assume it's tanks. So we're taking off 2 Russian tanks. I think that's a reasonable assumption that he's not going to want to lose that fighter because it's trying to get over to C Zone 5.
Yeah. Yeah, but this is, I mean, I was worried about a big stack of Russian tanks in Poland to hit Warsaw, but this is, you know, I'm okay with this.
Yeah.
Hit him one more time, man.
No doubt. Okay, so here's your 2 threes, your tank and your fighter. This is your tank and your fighter hitting. 1 hit there, so that's all you needed. This is our fighter responding and hitting. Okay, so this is a choice I'm going to need to hear from Nathan on this one. Do you want to lose the fighter or do you want to lose the tank? This is an important decision, and the commander of the day is Nathan. What do you want to do here, brother? Our fighter is coming down. I like that Japanese fighter coming in there. I think that was a good idea. That was a Doug suggestion, by the way, for those of you keep track at home.
Nathan said yes, but yes to what?
Yeah, it's an or question, brother. This may be a matter of the lag that's coming through here. So you've got to take 1 hit here, the fighter or the tank in East Poland.
Yeah, I mean, obviously it would have been good to have hit all of their stuff, but I'm pretty pleased with that outcome given.
Yeah, me too. I don't know. Okay, Nathan says to lose the tank. We're losing the tank. Okay, so we're keeping the territory and the AA gun. That's fun.
And the AA gun.
And the AA gun.
I like it.
That's going to be a consequential turn right there. I like it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and there are no Russian tanks chilling in East Poland, which is even better.
Yes. Yeah, great.
That is a Russian-free zone. I like that quite a bit, actually. That creates a number of interesting possibilities. Okay,
Yep.
On to Persia.
All right, you got to chew them up here, Gary.
Got to do it. All right, so this is your 2 2s. It's your 2 artillery here. All right, here we go. 2 artillery. 1 hit. And what is this? 5, 6 threes. That seems like a lot.
Seems like a lot. It's excessive.
Right, that is excessive. 6 threes. 4, 5, 6. Here we go. Oh, 4 more hits. So that's 5 all day.
Ouch.
That is, how many do we got? 7? We got 7.
Yeah.
All right, and here's your bomber.
Come on, miss.
Yes. Are you kidding me? Did you see that?
It was going to be a miss. I did.
It went 5, 6 and then landed. Oh my gosh. Okay, so 6 hits. Man, okay. So that's everybody but 1 tank. right? So there's 4 infantry.
Dang it.
Okay, 4 infantry, and this leaves a tank. So this is okay. So this is 4 twos firing back. 2 hits. And now this is 3 threes. A roll. Three threes. These are the tanks.
Get him with all 3.
1 more hit. We got 3 hits. Okay. I'm assuming it's the 2 artillery and 1 more tank. All right.
I really wanted 5 total hits in here.
Yeah. I still got 1 more tank to roll.
1 more. Yeah, got to get that one. Get him down to 3 and we'll be fine.
Okay, so next up, I assume you want to retreat.
They're strafing, you away. Right?
All right, pressing the attack, I assume. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 threes. All right, 5 threes. 5 threes, and he's dead. Barely, just 1 hit that time.
Where was that roll the first round, Gary?
You ain't kidding. Okay, and our tank fires back and misses. Yeah.
Brutal.
America.
Brutal.
Yeah, man, that is unfortunate.
Oh, I really wanted to get him 5 times there, and we only got him 3. That's tough.
Yeah. Oops. Okay, so they pick up Persia. Well, they send it back to the UK. 4 tanks remain in Persia, if my math is correct. And that is the end of combat for the Soviets. Combat losses this time. What have we got? 15 in infantry, 25 with the fighter. 5 tanks is 25. So how many is that? I just completely lost my brain. That sounds like 50 IPCs.
I honestly wasn't listening.
That's okay. I got 5 tanks is 25. 5 infantry is 15. 40. Plus the fighter is 50 all day.
50. Wow.
Allies lose 28 in that exchange. It's another big one for the Allies there. That's a good round for them. That is going to put a lot of pressure in some places that are uncomfortable. So we'll have to figure out what to do with that. So the answer is 50 losses for the Axis and 28 for the Allies. Okay. Lots of chips back in the box. Okay. Non-combat. Gotta go back to my sheet here. Okay, so infantry in Stanovich, however you say this, to the Soviet Far East. Leaving 2 guys in Sherbert. Infantry from Archangel into Russia. Fighter in East Poland heads to Sea Zone 5, landing on the UK carrier there. AA gun in Karelia moves to Baltic states. Okay. AA gun in Russia moves to Belarusia. Okay. AA gun in Caucasus moves to Russia. Okay, because you've got the UK gun there, that makes sense. The fighter and the bomber in the fighter goes to Caucasus, and the bomber goes to Russia. All right. Nathan, please confirm your non-combat move for the Russians.
That looks right on the chart.
Oh, okay. So, okay. So, but you're cool with the non-combat. So now we're talking about mobilizing. So, the destroyer is going to come into Sea Zone 5. The tanks are coming into Caucasus. Okay. And the infantry and the artillery also coming to Caucasus. Yeah, Chad, there is one. There is an AA gun in Caucasus. It belongs to the UK. It came up from India. Okay. Okay. Nathan's asking for the AA gun. Right. He asked for it to move to Russia. Chad, part of his orders were to move the AA gun from Caucasus into Russia. So I'm going to assume that that is your answer to me, Nathan. That you're putting the infantry, the artillery, and both tanks into Caucasus to go with the fighter, the UK fighter, and the Russian fighter that is there. Yeah. Okay.
He said bellow AA back to Russia.
Yeah. Is that really what you want, Nathan? You want this to come back to Russia? So you got 2 AA guns in Russia? Yeah, that's okay. I understand that the lag is bad, Nathan. I'm just trying to get an idea of what you're. Are you wanting both AA guns in Russia, or do you want to put the one in Belarus, or what do you want to do? Thought you might need it there if the tank retreated. I don't know. I don't know what that means. So, do you want the AA gun in Belarus, or do you want it to come back to Russia? Either way is okay with me. I just need to know what you want to do.
Said yes, both in Russia.
Both in Russia.
Okay.
Okay, roger that. Okay, got that. Okay. Okay, so quick review for the Soviets at the end of USSR 5. Moving west to east, they did, so the UK went up one, Japan went down one here, Japan down two, Russia up two. They also picked up eastern Ukraine, so that's Germany down one. Okay. All right. Okay, so there's a Soviet sub here in C Zone 14. Coming across here in C Zone 5, there is now a Soviet destroyer and a fighter, which is fun. Coming this way, no units until we get to Caucasus. Caucasus has 1 infantry, 1 artillery, 2 tanks, a Russian fighter, and a UK fighter. Russia proper has 1 infantry, 2 AA guns, and a bomber. The Kazakh has 2 infantry and an artillery. Persia has 4 tanks. Ningxia has 1 infantry. Stan has 2 infantry, and the Soviet Far East has 1 infantry unit in it. Any questions, comments, changes to the Soviet position at the end of Soviet 5? I think that is as ordered. But if anybody has any, please check your score sheets at home and make sure that this lines up with what everybody else has got. Should be pretty close here. Doug, do you see anything that needs to change? Or
No,
just what you
it
got?
looks good.
Okay.
It looks good. They gained 26.
Yep, Russia's collecting 26 IPCs this time. Pretty good turn for the Soviets, other than in East Poland. We did get a little bit. We got a little bit of love in the East Poland area, but we got pretty well shellacked everywhere else.
Yeah, they should have probably only had. They made it out of. We should have hit 2 more times in Persia, I think, odds wise, give or take.
Yeah,
But
and at
and then
least
in
once in
Kazakh,
Kazakh.
yeah, probably. So, well, maybe it was 50-50 because they probably should have wiped us out. So, okay, this is it. On to Germany.
Yep. Okay, so we are now on to Germany 5. And we have 35 IPCs to spend. Is what I have.
Yes.
So that's going to be 7 infantry, the 21. The artillery takes us to 25, and then 2 tanks would take us up to 35. Do we want the tanks, or do we want a fighter? I like getting 10 units, but I also like the idea of being able to do something else with the fighter.
I feel like at this point in the game, having the 2 3s on defense is better than 1 4 on defense. And
Yeah.
I mean, either way, I mean, we're protecting Warsaw, France, and Germany. A fighter can move 1 just as well as a tank can move into either one of those territories. So
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
I'm inclined to I'm slightly inclined toward the tanks.
Yeah. Yeah, me too. Okay, so that's our purchase. 7 infantry, 1 artillery, and 2 tanks for 35 IPCs to spend. Combat. I don't think anything that we talked about before, Doug, makes any sense anymore.
Yeah. I mean, I I think that yeah, this is just not. I think I expected more tanks in East Poland and less tanks in Persia. Um, so
Okay.
my initial question for us to think about is like we have 6 air units. Obviously, the fighters are good on defense. The bombers are good to retake Warsaw. Like, is it worth like going in? I know he would get AA guns, but blowing up the guys in the Baltic states. If we wipe all those land units out, maybe we should send a bomber after the tank in Norway. Like, if we just call out a bunch of the British land units, um, yeah, that's one thought. Um,
Well, the two fighters in France can't make the Baltic states.
correct. Yeah,
Oh, they can, but they'd land in East Poland, which would not be great.
yeah. Um,
Or would it? Or would that matter?
well, I think we want them defending a victory city, not East Poland.
Yeah.
I mean, if we take
Yeah.
Warsaw, we could slide that AA in there. Um, I just, I think I was initially thinking you could move a ton of the stuff from Germany into Warsaw, but I'm starting to question that. Um, I mean, maybe it is good there because your infantry defend on twos, and if he wants to come at you, but I'm also just kind of wondering, like, if you do that, he gets to go against you with, bombards and air. Whereas if you just hold out in Germany and then step out next round, it's one less round of him hitting you with bombards and air in Warsaw.
So you want to take Poland light?
That's the thought.
So if we take Poland light, then on the next turn he comes in with 2, 5, 8, 10 land units,
One, two,
and
three, four.
presumably is there with all of them,
Yeah.
and an AA gun, at least one AA gun. Well, no, in this game, well, one is all that matters.
Yeah.
So, so I don't know,
Yeah. That's
but I mean, but at that point, then we'd be able to come in with 15 land units or more, plus all the air units. So
yeah.
I mean, I'm not saying that's a bad idea. I don't love sending the fighters at the. I mean, if you send two
Baltic.
fighters and
Yeah.
the bombers at the Baltic states, we're almost certainly going to lose at least one of them to the AA, and then they're firing back with 10 in the defense. We're going to
Yeah.
lose a lot of air power if we do that, and I'd rather kill the guys
Yeah.
when with guys.
Yeah. Yep. Do you think it's worth taking a shot at the tank in Norway? I mean, worst. I mean, the bomber defends on a one. The tank will attack on a three. So if he hits you, you probably lose a bomber. Just one less thing you can come back into Poland with. Yeah, I'm just kind of throwing a lot of different ideas out. Maybe this is not helpful.
The infantry and the two bombers to Caucasus
Mm,
to try to kill
uh,
some of these land units and leave it for the Japanese to kill these,
I mean, you
and
could.
and then the Italians I mean, we're only going to
Yeah.
get one shot. So best case,
Yep.
we're probably taking out 2 or 3 units, right? And if we can kill, if you can take out these guys and these guys, right? So you'll have these 3 land units, bombers, fighters, and so on.
Yeah.
Then
I
if
should
we
be able
can
to
take,
blow everything.
yeah, I mean, if we can get 2 hits in the Caucasus, then that leaves it, then it's 4, it's 2 tanks and 2 fighters and an AA gun. Well, the AA gun won't matter. Then the Italians coming in on Italy 5. No, that would be Italy 6.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's think about this for a minute. So the UK is going to go next.
Yep.
They can come into Warsaw with 10 land units, 12, no,
Oh,
11 land
11.
units, including the tank.
Yep.
Plus, they can get there with 1, 2, 3, 4 fighters. In theory, they could also come with the guy in Caucasus, but that seems, I suppose it's possible. They can come
2
after the
bomb
fleet, the Italian fleet. If they're feeling particularly froggy, they can do that. But it has the potential to bring this battleship or this carrier out of position, which might give us a shot at sinking that fleet.
Yeah. Make that fleet an awfully vulnerable target.
Yeah. Yet another reason to try to hang on to the German air power.
Yeah. Yeah.
And a reason to, instead of buying 2 tanks, to buy another fighter. Because on G6, if we can sink either one of those 2 fleets, it gets to be a pretty hard push for the Allies to retake Warsaw.
Yeah.
I don't know. So now it's a question: do we realistically think that we have a shot at taking Caucasus on? To take Caucasus, we would have to kill all. The Italians would have to clear a path. The Germans can help with the clearing of that path, and we'd have to get rid of all of the land units that could kill the only tank that can get there for Japan. So Japan
Well,
would have to kill these guys, this guy.
I think Italy is taking Caucasus, not Japan, in my mind.
On Italy 6.
I mean, Italy could hit the Caucasus this round with 4 land units and 2 bombards.
Right.
And then India attacks Persia and Kazakh and wipes out all that stuff. And then Italy comes back into Caucasus on Italy 6.
I like the idea of that plan.
Yeah.
So what does that mean for the Germans on G5?
I don't think it impacts them as far as Caucasus. Like, okay, let's say you attack Caucasus with the infantry and the 2 bombers this round. I mean, you hypothetically could hit 3 times, but really we're talking best case scenario, he whiffs on the AA and you hit him twice, right? So he
Right.
has the infantry and the artillery less. Is that worth it?
Right. Because now
Or
there's
is there
2 tanks
something
and 2 fighters.
Yeah, or is there something better to do with the bombers? That's really the question to me. If
Right.
sacking
And
the
I don't.
bombers in that Sorry, go
Yeah.
ahead.
I'm not sure that the Italians are successful in taking this. I mean, 2 tanks and 2 fighters versus 2 infantry, an artillery, and a tank, and a battleship and a cruiser offshore shot. That's dicey. I mean,
Yeah,
they're
I
favored in
agree.
that battle.
Yeah.
So, I mean, part of me says that we just need to stage to be able to hold Warsaw on at the end of the game. And it's a question of what's the most effective way to do that, and to also be holding Calcutta. I mean, I think that using the Japanese air power to kill all of these land units and using the other, various land units to assist in that endeavor
Yeah.
is good. Um, but I don't think that we can count on taking Caucasus, because I don't. There's a lot of allied units in the area. There's a lot of air power in the area, and in theory, can these fighters get back? 1, 2, 3, 4. So both these fighters can get back there. They can get back there on UK5, right? They can come back on Russia 6. This American fighter can't get there, but they've still got 2 turns, so they could go US5 and get the fighter into position to be able to hold, to be able to stack and have an air unit in Caucasus.
Yeah, I agree with all of that, but it's also just that much less that they're taking against Warsaw, right? So
True.
I think if you take Warsaw this round, move your AA in there. Um, if they want to go back in, they can. I still think we put pressure on. I mean, they're not going to take Calcutta. I can build 3 fighters there. I mean, I have 9 fighters. I don't even need anything
Well, I mean,
else.
at a minimum, you can kill these guys and put a
Yeah,
blocker
I'll
here,
blow those guys.
and that
Yeah,
and that stops it.
yeah, exactly. I mean, there's no threat against Caucasus, so I figure I might as well use my airplanes to blow through as many as the Caucasus and Kazakh guys as I can, and at least give Italy a shot. Like I agree, it's a very narrow, slim shot, but they have to consider it in their calculation. It may pull some fighters down out of C Zone 5. Um, yeah, that's kind of my thought on it.
Yeah. No, I agree. I agree. I mean,
Yeah,
don't get me wrong. If the opportunity presents itself, I think we stay on the path to Caucasus. But
yeah,
I think we're going to find out here shortly whether or not any of that's going to be an option. So,
yeah. Is there
okay. So, hmm?
Did you run the math on C Zone 5? Is there a 40% chance you blow everything up there and then we don't have to worry about, UK at all? Like, I don't know if it's one of those, you don't have good odds, but it's worth rolling the dice, you know? Um,
Yeah, I
I
looked
mean,
at it with the destroyer in place, and it's like a 38% chance to successfully take it out. But if we miss and we lose,
yeah,
I mean, that's kind
it's a
of,
bad.
yeah, that's the show.
So it's 20 against 21, and they have one more hit to give. No, they have 2 more hits to give. Yeah, that's tough.
Right.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, so I'm just trying to think of I'm not trying to throw the bombers away, but I'm trying to think of something to do with them, and I'm struggling to find something to do with them. I mean, other than blowing the tank up in Norway, 50-50 will lose one of them. I kind of think you send both the bombers after the tank in Norway, use the other air in Warsaw, and um, yeah, that's kind of my thought. Do you kill the U.S. guys in Northwestern Europe? I guess is another question. Is it worth? You could. I mean, anytime you take less than 2 land units into a battle like that, there's a chance. But is it worth just taking like 1 infantry and then several air to just, hoping they won't hit you twice and just to wipe them out, just to have them dead?
No, I'm not worried about that. I think that we could send 2 infantry, and yeah. So this is what I'm thinking here. is step into here to grab this money and to force them to. If these bombers still exist, can they reach Moscow? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, 5, 6. Because you'll have this, right? So
Persia. Yeah.
right. So
Yep.
if this infantry can step into Moscow, boy, that'd be a hell of
Yeah.
a thing, wouldn't it?
Oh, that'd be
Right. So it
great.
forces them to come back and kill this guy.
Okay.
And so they've because these tanks have only got one more turn, so they
Yes.
can't get to Poland, they can't get to
Mm.
Berlin. They can pick up Bulgaria is the most damage that they can do, but I don't care how much money we're making on G6. It's not going to matter. So I like this combat. I'm thinking that it's probably. I don't want to go in super heavy because I think you're right. So I think that it's maybe 3 and 2. 3
3
infantry, 2
infantry,
artillery,
2 artillery. Okay.
and then um, fighters galore. Well, it won't be galore necessarily, but it'll be a number of fighters. So probably 2 here. That ought to be more than enough to wrap that up. And then I think that it's 2 infantry here. Worst case scenario, they hit us twice back, and then the Italians just step in and do the job, which might actually be better because then the UK doesn't get to take the money, right? So now, like if we kill these guys, then the UK can just land there and they get to pick up the 2 IPCs. You know what I'm saying? So I almost would rather not kill them and let the let the US continue to control it until the Italians turn, and then let them step in and take it. But I
Well,
want these
then I think
Italians alive.
then I just think you take 1 infantry in.
With the dice we've been having,
I don't know. Yeah, I feel like the dice have got to break our way at some point, and um, yeah, I think killing those 2 guys, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I feel like it really, yeah. I mean, the U.S. only has 4 land units. I mean, their
and one
bombers
fighter.
can hit in 1 fighter. Their bombers can hit France, but their
Right.
bombers are in a pretty awkward position.
Right.
Um,
Can this
anyway,
bomber hit France?
it
3, 4,
cannot.
5. It can if the UK controls Northwest Europe,
If the
but the
UK
Italians
controls
will make
North.
sure that that doesn't happen. So this bomber can't hit France.
Yeah,
The Eastern U.S. bomber can't hit France.
yeah.
Okay.
Anyway,
So
I trust your instincts. I like 1 infantry and air into northwestern Europe, but it's whatever you're. As a matter of fact, I would go with a little less land units into Warsaw even. Um, but it's yeah. I trust your instincts on it.
yeah, the reason that I like this is because now they actually have to attack it, right? They've really got to come with something. And with the AA gun
Yeah,
there, they're gonna need to come. They're they're gonna want to come with air power. We're gonna have a shot at those. So I mean, I think you're right. I think we got to get some dice at some point. So
yeah.
hopefully this is the one. I know there's a lot going on in the chat here, and I'm sorry I haven't been able to follow up. Um, um, so I'm sorry I'm not following the chat right now. I'm trying to figure out how to keep Germany alive, and and how to figure out how to win this
Yeah.
game, because there's a path. There's absolutely a path here for both sides to win this game. This game is not there's. I know it's funny. Again, the internet is funny because some have said that the Allies have already won this game. Others have said that the Axis have already won this game. So I take that as a sign of a very good game. Um,
Yeah.
so
The chat is just a lot of stuff about YouTube and ads and stuff. I don't see much. I just
okay,
scanned it real quick. I don't see much relevant to the game itself.
okay. Do we want to try to kill this tank in Norway Um, I mean, we might as well. I don't see a good reason not to, because even if one of them falls, what is the other bomber going to do on G6?
Yeah, I
Other than be
mean,
part of the retake of Warsaw?
yeah, that's what it'll do. Is it'll go into Warsaw with us to attack.
Right. How much money do the Italians have?
The
Like
Italians have
13?
$13. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Interesting.
What would it
Okay.
do? How much money does the UK have? What if you strategic bombed them?
I thought about that. They've got 33 IPCs. If I send both bombers in there and they both survive, I'm probably going to do 6.5 or 7 points of damage.
Yeah.
That would stop the fourth transport from being built. Because at 30, they've got 33 now. They could build the fourth transport. That would take them down to 26. They could build 7 infantry. That'd be 8 units.
I have
Yeah.
them at 34. They gained 33, but I had that
Oh,
they saved
I'm
one
sorry. I'm
last
looking at the IPC tracker, but
Yeah.
you have them at 34. Maybe I took
I
that
have
wrong
that
way.
they saved one last round.
Oh, okay. So they're actually currently generating 33 IPCs. They've just saved one. Okay. So they got 34. So they could build 1 transport and then 7 other land units. So, yeah. But that doesn't seem to make a big difference in this instance. So
Yeah.
I don't see a value for it. I mean, what are they gonna build? They're gonna build 7 land units and a fighter. That's probably what I would build. They got 34. Yeah, yeah, that's probably what I would do. I'd probably build a fighter, maybe a bomber. I don't know. Um, and then because they can only build 8 units, and they've got 6 transports or 3 transports. So
Yeah.
it's probably
Yeah.
a bomber, and so just another reason to have a pretty good hold in Poland. Okay. All
Yeah.
right. So the bombers to Norway then, I guess, because that is
Okay.
the other thing that this tank can do. It could go UK 5 to Karelia, and then 6. It doesn't need the transports to get into the fight.
Yeah, yeah. And what did you decide Northwestern Europe? Your screen's too blurry for me to tell. Is it 2
2
infantry and
infantry,
2
2
fighters?
fighters. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Sorry for the blur, everybody. I know that's annoying. We're doing our best. All right. So 1, 1. These guys have moved 2. Okay. So and we stepped into Ukraine, eastern Ukraine. Skadoosh.
And you're taking 5 land units into Warsaw because you want them to have to really get in there to fight to get it back, right?
Right. I want to be standing there with at least 4 land units and an AA gun,
Okay.
so that they've got to come with enough guys that they've got to commit, instead of just
Yeah.
like sending 2 guys and using the offshore shots. Right. I want to stack in Warsaw to swing at
Yeah.
on G6.
Okay. Okay.
That's what I'm hoping for. Okay, so we can do this in any order we want. Any other combat for the Germans? I don't think so. Okay. Okay, well, we're going to do what we can. All right, so Northwest Europe. This is 2 infantry firing and rolling an 11. Our 2 fighters firing and 1 hit. Cool. 2 American infantry firing. 1 hit. All right.
You gonna push?
Or do I
Or
leave it
let
for the
Italy
Italians? Yeah, we might as well leave it for the Italians. That's annoying. Okay, so we retreat from Northwest Europe, the infantry back to France. Norway, this is our 2 bombers firing. They both hit. This is your tank firing and missing. Sweet. Holy cow. Allies, they lost some guys. Okay. And now into Persia, we have 1 at a 1. Miss. 4 at a 2. 1 hit. And 2 at a 3. 1 more hit. So we just got him. Is your infantry and artillery firing back and hitting? 1 hit.
How many? 1?
They got 1 hit.
Okay.
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 All right. So this is Germany up 4. That is UK down 3. I think I already
I have them
moved
both.
Russia.
I have them both at 28. Is that right?
I have the Germans at 29, but I'm going to defer to you because you've got.
It's possible I didn't move them up for Eastern Ukraine. We can do a count. I'll count it up while you look at non-com.
All right, so. That'd be 7, 14, 14, 17, 18, 36.
I'm counting 27
Okay. For the Germans?
for Germany. You had 29?
Yeah. I'm so thinking from this setup. We are down Belarusia and Baltic states, Norway and Finland, and Morocco, Algeria. So that's 5,
In Northwestern
6,
Europe.
7, 8, 9, 10. And we start at what?
37 in this one.
Okay.
Yeah, so 27.
Okay. And the UK is at 30. They're plus 5.
But they're down 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. They're down 3, so they should be at 28.
Okay. I don't know how. Anyway. Okay, and the Russians are down 1
And
plus 2.
2. So they're up 1 at 25. Yeah. Okay.
Okay, that's correct.
Yeah, I had Britain and Russia right, just not Germany. I don't know.
Okay, so non-combat. We're gonna move. We're gonna turn this guy into a chip, and then we're gonna move. Bear with me here for a second, guys. We're gonna take this infantry, this physical piece, and one of the chips, and we're gonna move them over to France. So that gives us 5. Yeah, 5 Germans here. We're gonna land. This chip here is 5 infantry. The 2 bombers are coming back to Germany.
Do we need the bombers? One, two, three, four, 5. Okay, the one. Do we need the bombers to be closer to Russia to threaten there?
They can land in eastern Ukraine.
Yeah, I guess we're forcing
Right.
Russia to have to take eastern Ukraine. Okay, yeah. Okay.
Right. I mean, the alternative. We're moving this AA gun over before I forget. That's moving into these. I gotta. I guess it wouldn't matter. Yeah. Okay, that's fine. We'll have that. We'll do that. I was contemplating moving this AA gun someplace else from East Poland,
Yeah.
maybe Eastern Ukraine, because they're going to take this back. But it doesn't matter because they moved this AA gun into the Baltic anyway, from the Baltic.
Yeah.
So it doesn't really matter. So we'll keep it there, just so we have it. Okay, and all right. So these 2 fighters are going to come to France. These 2 fighters came back from Poland and landed back in Germany. Bring this guy out of here. All right. So combat losses for the for Germany 5. By the way, 2 infantry for the Germans for a total of 6 IPCs. The Allies lost 15 IPCs, an infantry, an artillery, a tank, and the American GI in the Netherlands. So those are those guys. Headed back to the box. Okay. All right. So let's mobilize here.
And you put 2 fighters in France and 2 fighters in Germany, right?
Correct.
Okay. Sorry, just real quick. So there's 5 German infantry and 2 fighters in France, 6 German infantry, 3 artillery, 2 fighters, and 2 bombers in Germany, right?
There's 5 German infantry there now.
5 in Germany?
Mm-hmm. And we're about to add
Is
7 more.
it 6 in France then?
No, should be 5.
Where'd the guy who retreated go? Because when we attacked into northwestern Europe, it left us.
Yeah. Okay.
Right? It
It's
left
here.
us a red chip.
Oh yeah. Yeah. We're stealing Warsaw back. Okay. So you think I shorted us a guy in Germany?
I
Because I tried
do.
to move 2 infantry from Germany to France.
Yeah, we had 5 in France.
We sent 2. There was 3 remaining. 1 retreated. Yeah, I think you're right. I think I did short us 1. Okay.
Okay, yeah.
So instead of that, I'm going to put it back in Germany. Okay. And I'll go back and look at the video and double check that I am not giving us an extra guy here that we don't deserve. Okay. So I wanted 10 infantry in
we
France.
had 15 land units in Germany. 5 went to Warsaw. We lost one, so there's 4 left.
Mm-hmm.
One was lost in Northern Europe. And so we should have 5, 6, 7, 8. We should have 10 left in Germany then.
We had 10 infantry in Germany and 5 artillery. So 3 infantry moved to Poland, leaves 7,
Yep.
and then moved 2 to France. So that'd leave us 5. Now in France, we had 5 infantry total. We moved 2, left us 3 in France. 1 retreated, we'd have 4.
So if you moved 2 from Germany, you would either have 6 in France.
Right.
Or
so that's what I'm saying.
You'd have an extra guy in Germany. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So I'm, instead of sending 2 infantry from Germany, I'm only going to send 1. So that we have 10 infantry between the Germans and the Italians, and 3 fighters and an AA gun in France.
Correct. And then 6 infantry before we place our 7 more in Germany.
Correct.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Got it. Yep.
Okay. Okay. So to review, the Germans aren't in a lot of places, but they are in places. Let me go ahead and mobilize our units here so that the final is final. Okay, we're placing the 7 infantry, the 1 artillery, and the 2 tanks in. This is the artillery piece going into the artillery stack. Okay. These guys are all back of the bus. Okay. So Germans' total units here are in France. We have 5 German infantry, 5 Italian infantry, 2 German fighters, 1 Italian fighter, and an Italian AA gun. Northwest Europe still has a GI in it, an American GI. The capital of Germany, in Berlin, has 13 infantry, 4 artillery, 4 artillery, 2 tanks, 2 fighters, 2 bombers, and an AA gun. Poland has 2 infantry, 2 artillery, and an AA gun. East Poland is controlled by the Germans but unoccupied. Eastern Ukraine has 1 infantry in it. Ukraine is German controlled but has no units in it. And that is all of the Germans' units. They're in a total of 4 spaces on the entire map.
Nice.
Hoping on hope that the Japanese come to the rescue. We'll see.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, there's an idea. All right, we'll figure that out. All right, so any questions in the chat about the current state of the board? The Germans are collecting 27.
That's what I got.
And you're a very smart man, and I believe you. The Germans collect 27. Quick review of the IPC production at the end of Germany 5. The Italians are producing 13. The Russians are producing 25. The Germans are producing 27. The UK is producing 28, though they have 29 total in the bank. The Americans are producing 39. Right? They start with 38. They're up Algeria. They should be at 39.
They're up Northwestern Europe also. They're at 41.
Oh, that's the other one I forget. Northwestern Europe, they still got that one, so they're in 41 IPCs. And Japan is collecting. I've got them holding 43. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, 42. They lost one for Ningxia.
Right. Ningxia.
Ningxia. Yeah, Ningxia. I think it looks good.
Yep. It looks like something. We're going to figure it out. Okay, so that is Germany's fifth turn over to the UK for their fifth turn. They are holding 29 IPCs. Thank you again to Nathan, our commander of the day. This is his first set of orders. And on his first round out of the park here, he takes home the prize and gets a pretty big round for the Russians this turn. So congrats, Nathan. Very good. No, in Germany it is 13 infantry total, 4 artillery, and 2 fighters, 2 bombers, and an AA gun.
And 2 tanks.
And 2 tanks. Thank you. And 2 tanks. All right. Any other questions about the map, the board? Seems about right here. IPCs sound correct. Yep. Okay. Coming back over to this shot. Hey. Well, that went great.
Yeah. I'd like to kill a few more Russians.
Yes. Maybe.
It's okay.
Yeah. That's a good idea. Wake Bell, set a D20 next to the stacks with the number. It'll be a little easier to see when I put up the battle photos here in a minute. So I've made myself a little checklist so that I make sure that I do everything after the live stream ends, because I constantly forget one thing or the other. So I will get the pictures up here in just a little bit, but it should be available and should be a little easier to see exactly what's there. I know that the image today is really blurry, and I'm sorry about that. There's just I'm honestly I'm pleased that the internet has held out as well as it has today, because it's been a struggle all day. I've been running speed tests pretty frequently, and sometimes it's been, hey, that's more than enough to do what we need to do. Other times it's like, are there hamsters stuck inside the modem? I have no idea. So
it's weird because when I look at when I go to YouTube and look at the stream, it actually looks really clean to me. But the one that we're on looks pretty rough, but it's actually cleared up here a little bit also. So, Wake Bill, that's interesting that you say that. I like the idea of green chips for threes. I have added them to my version of Anniversary. I just bought, there's chips that are green. You can buy a sleeve of 50 of them on Amazon for I think it's like
historicalboardgaming.com.
On historicalboardgaming.com. I didn't know about that when I bought these a long time ago. You can buy these on historicalboardgaming.com.
There you
and
go.
They stack
using the link in the description.
Using the link in the description, they stack perfectly with the chips out of the box. Some people don't like the green chips. I do. So you can definitely make it happen.
Yeah, absolutely. I like them too. There are times when, I don't know, I've had trouble with them in the past, but but they certainly have a place. I agree. I do my best to try to make things as clear as I can. We'll get some close-up shots and make sure that everybody's clear as to what all of the different pieces are and how much is left. But But yes, thank you for that product placement, Doug. That was very well done, sir. You should.
Yeah, yeah.
That's
Or
awesome.
not so well done.
Hey, you did good. That's okay. Um, all right. So again, thank you to Historical Board Gaming for sponsoring this series. As you saw, the dice box is from them. The world should be sending them all of their business for these kinds of products because, man, that dice box has been awfully friendly to you guys. That's for sure. So yeah, yes, you can actually get Paul. You can get extra
Yeah,
Japanese control markers there as well. They got all kinds of stuff there.
I've done that as well. I get them for Japan and Germany because sometimes you need them for them. Usually not for Russia in the US,
Yeah,
in the UK.
yeah, yeah. That's one thing that we've talked about in this game before is that it's hard for the U.S. to really run away in the IPC count because there's just not a lot of places for them to pick up money.
And the
So
money
it's
islands are pre-assigned in this version. So when you take Borneo and New East Indies, it goes to Britain, not to the US.
right. So that whole land in Borneo, build an industrial complex and start
Doesn't
pumping
work.
out American bombers or battleships or carriers or whatever it is that you're going to put down there. That doesn't work. Uh, so I think you can take Manila, but Manila's only worth 2 in this game.
Yeah,
So it's a little harder for the U.S. to run away with it like they can in 42nd edition, for example,
yeah,
with a little Thorpe thumpage. They can make some noise.
yeah.
All right. Well, if you enjoyed the shellacking that the Gary and Doug took in Persia, please go ahead and hit that like button for us. We certainly appreciate that. It does make us feel a little bit better anyway to be able to make sure that we're getting that our suffering is spread far and wide.
That's right.
Yes, yes,
At least
yes,
someone's benefiting for it.
yes, 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 yes.
Yeah.
All right. So, I'm trying to think about what else we've got coming up next. We'll be back on Wednesday with UK 5. They've got some fun options that they can go after at this point, I think. But they're still pretty narrow. Like, if you think the Germans are narrow, like the UK's really kind of got very few places that they can be. Um, I mean, the guy in New Zealand, he can walk from Mordor to the Shire and back, and that's cool. But I'm not sure what else he's going to be able to do. But man, I don't know. I think I need to go to historicalboardgaming.com and buy new dice. Let me just say,
Yes.
because
And
these
some
are
green chips so people can see how
that's
many units are in
yes,
Paris.
yes, 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 yes. They're killing me. But that's all right. Then we will, like I said, we'll be back on Wednesday with UK 4 and Italy. Oh, excuse me, UK 5 and Italy 5. Man, this game is coming down to the wire. I like it. I think it's a really good game. I think we've I think the Allies have had quite a few um, favorable outcomes in their dice, but the
I
game's
don't like it.
fun,
It's stressing me out.
right? I don't blame
You
you.
know, I actually did think about this in a tournament game. You need to try to have fun, not get too stressed out about it. But in one sense, it's just over with in a certain amount of time. This like dragging on is kind of like, oh my gosh, what's going to happen next?
I
Like
know,
it's
I
kind
know.
of it's been a lot of fun, but it's actually like I wouldn't say that I usually get that stressed out, but every once in a while if I start thinking about this and like, man, I got to wait 2 days to know what happens, like anyway, a little stressful
Yes,
sometimes.
yeah, that is true. I will also say that like we've we've played games that we've looked at in retrospect, right, in
Yeah.
front of everybody. And so this
Yeah,
is the
yeah.
first time that we've played a game with the world watching, right? And so we're
Mhm.
like actively making our choices. So it's just stressful. There's no doubt about that. And I will say that it is a little bit tricky. And there's an advantage for the world because like you guys have a whole community of folks that you're talking to and getting advice from, and that's great, and that's absolutely what we wanted to have happen. And that's one of the things that I'm um, the most excited about and the happiest about when it comes to this game and how this whole experiment has played out is how much engagement there's been on the Discord server with people talking, and even in the comments, there's been a lot on like replays. Um, if you're, that's just something else I keep forgetting to mention is like, even if you're not a member and you want to comment, you can still comment on the video itself once the live stream ends. So if you got something to share that you want to talk about, um, feel free to fire it into there and the conversation continues. You're also, of course, welcome over on the Discord server to continue the conversation over there. So but the advantage really for the world is they've got a lot more time and a lot more brains to put together to try to find the most effective path. We're reacting in real time based on what just happened, right? So like we had a whole game plan that for Germany that involved there only being one or two tanks left in Persia and two guys left in Kazakh. I mean, there was a whole, we're going to do a whole thing, right? And just based on how the dice fell that time, it dramatically changed, and we had to move on the fly to rethink, basically the entire German turn, or a big chunk of the German turn anyway. So, which has been fine, which is great. Like, this is what we signed up for. I'm not, don't get me wrong, I'm not in all complaining. I'm more thinking about the format itself and and how it works for us and how it's working for the world. So I think it's interesting. Were we going to hit the fleet in Sea Zone 5? Um, if if they had not moved in the Russian fighter, and of course not put the destroyer there, then absolutely. We were 62, 63% to take that fleet out, and that would have been the ball game. Like, I I didn't want to do that because I want to be like, I've joked that I want the world to resign, but I don't really want the world to resign because I want to play this all the way through to the end. Um, but but yeah, in that instance, like it'd have been A&A malpractice to not go after that fleet, right? Don't you think?
Practice. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, if you don't cover the fleet with the fighter, you have, yeah, the Germans have to go at it. Even if you do cover it with the fighter, I don't know. If they hadn't built the destroyer, I kind of think we might take a swing. Like,
Yeah, with the fighter, but without the destroyer, we were just about a coin flip.
yeah. And to me, a coin flip to wipe all of that stuff out and give Germany a reprieve for an entire round. Because if it goes south, like, yeah, you lose the fighters, but I don't know that that's the difference. So I don't know. So
Yeah.
yes, if you guys would have just landed the fighter there and not built the destroyer, I probably would have advocated for attacking the fleet. Because you can always go in for a round, and if it goes poorly, lose the bombers and hopefully land some fighters still. I actually rolled the battle out like just live without a calculator at my table multiple times, and I mean I only did it 3 times, and the Germans won every time I did it, which I know is not like super scientific. I just did it more for the fun of it, so I think it was worth it.
This is an interesting question. Out of curiosity, Gary and Doug, what are your odds comfort level for key moves?
I've
Go
heard
ahead.
you say more than once if you have a 30% chance at a capital, you go for it, or somewhere in there. I don't know exactly. I actually kind of thought you might take a swing at the fleet, even with the destroyer, because I think you said it was probably around 35%. And I kind of thought with that in there, that you might have done that. Just because it probably would have. I don't want to be so bold to say like we win the game if we blow that fleet up, but I think we have a really good chance because the whole
But yeah,
now
we
we're
definitely
like
Charles would have definitely changed the odds.
yeah. So um it's yeah. I mean, the reason we decided to go to Persia was to draw Russia that way and not let them send eight tanks into East Poland. So our strategy worked from that perspective. It's
Right,
just the counterplay didn't work quite like we'd hoped. So
right. Yeah, that was absolutely the rationale for moving, um, basically abandoning the Pacific with all those fighters and moving
yeah.
out to India and staging for Calcutta. Yeah. So yeah, I will say, Nathan, that was a really clever maneuver to put that destroyer up there. I think that it was. I think it's something that not a lot of people saw or would have considered, and um, because you don't really ever think about Russian sea units, right? I will say that I did like Robin's purchase of a fighter.
Yeah.
Yep, yep, yep. Um, yeah, Wakebell's run the math here. He says 18% chance to clear uh, the transports in C Zone 5 uh, with with the destroyer and the fighter present. Um, yeah, that's funny. Nathan, I figured Gary was a gambling man. Thought he might take a swing. Yeah, certainly possible. Um, I like it. I like this one too. I want to. I definitely want to see this. This is the follow up. Is the Russian battleship on Russia 6?
It
Yes.
should be. If you guys
So
don't,
it's gonna be disappointing.
that and the British complex in Canada, I want to see it, guys. UK
Can we
6.
please? Can we? Um, yeah. So there was a question earlier when this will all wrap up. If everything stays to plan, the this should end next Friday because we'll end US 5 on Friday, US 5 Japan 6 on Friday, and then that'll give us um, USSR Germany next Sunday, UK Italy on Wednesday, and then ends the show with US 6 uh, next Friday. And we're doing it's kind of our finale of this particular series. We're going to be giving away a couple of some of our bigger prizes that are in here in the vault, as they say. So make sure that you're tuning in for that. I honestly think that it's going to come down to the U.S.'s sixth turn. I really do think that that's where this game is going to be decided. So we will we will see what we see, I suppose. But it's been good. I'm excited about it. Thank you to the commanders for sticking in here and making sure, whether you're in airports or new jobs or on cruise ships or in on planes to South Africa or Puerto Rico or wherever it is that you guys are going. You guys have been just fantastic. I really, really appreciate the effort. Um, and it should be. Oh, Dave's typed it out for me. So this is
There it is.
the rest of the schedule for this particular series. And a lot of questions about what is on deck for Board Game Nation. This week, I am going to be finishing up Battle for the Deep, which is on this side of my body. Battle for the Deep. And we will also be working on Song for War, which is over there. And then after that, we will be focused on the global um, final from Gen Con from last year. So we'll be focused on that and trying to get that so that we can do that live stream. Obviously, not this coming Friday, but the Friday after that. So we would still be able to. Um, we would be off on Sunday. We'd be off on Wednesday, but then we'd be back to basically do the walkthrough of that global, the review of that global final. That's the hope. There's obviously leaking roofs and water coming in windows and all that to manage. But that is the plan. And as soon as that global video is done, there's and Historical Board Gaming, by the way, is sponsoring those videos. Thank you very much, Mr. Friend. We appreciate that. As soon as that is done, we will be moving into the diplomacy final from Gen Con, the national championship, U.S. National Championship at Gen Con 2024. We'll be breaking that down. I've been waiting to get to this one for quite some time, and I'm really excited about it. I pulled it all up in my editing software, and it's like, because we've got like 9 camera angles and 12 audio sources, and so it's going to be a lot to edit through, but I think it's going to be very, very cool when it's all said and done. So lots of very cool things here coming up. And thank you to all the members, man. We've got like 130 some odd members now. That is just fantastic. We've got a bunch of gift memberships that folks have given, which we really, really appreciate. So it's been an interesting run so far in this, and I'm grateful to Doug for being a great partner throughout all of this, and putting up with the tech woes and bad dice. And man,
We should do it where I get to roll for us and you roll for the world.
wow, I like
Although
that plan.
here's the thing I'll say, like any you've done all the rolling, so any good or bad rolls anybody has had, it's all been you, so it's fine. Like you're rolling good and bad,
Sure.
so it's fine.
I'm a giver, right? I'm a giver.
Are.
So when the world needs, I provide. So awesome. And of course, thank you to Doug's family for their patience and making sure that Doug looks good when he comes onto camera. We appreciate you guys making sure that he's polished
That's
up
right.
and ready to go. That's awesome. Hey, we got some gift memberships. That's fantastic. Thank you, Pino. And we really, really appreciate that. And of course, thank you to my lovely bride, Jamie, for just being awesome. You know what she gets? She gets the Glockenspiel. The Glockenspiel for Jamie, my friends. She's just been fantastic and has been helping with the moderation. And she's just been a fantastic partner. So awesome. Another drawing on this coming Friday. And I think that's what we got. So that's Wednesday. And I don't know what you guys are going to do for UK5. I can't really think about it. It hurt my brain right now. I don't know. Doug has his own makeup crew. Yes, Alex is his makeup crew. It's fantastic.
That's right. I think
yes,
UK is just going to send everything to Warsaw for the next like 5 rounds.
Probably.
That's what I'd do if I were them.
Right. Oh, Chad, welcome. You've been offered a gift membership from our friend and yours, Pino. Thank you very much. Great to see you. Welcome, Chad, and thank you for the support, Pino. We appreciate that. Glockenspiel t-shirts, maybe. All right, so I do have an Etsy store, by the way. It does not have a lot of stuff in it. I need to make some more stuff to put in it, but I will I'll drop that in the chat right now, just so that people can, if you're interested in checking that out, we can do that. See if that works. Yep. All right, awesome. So that is what we've got for today. And we will be back on Wednesday night at 7 o'clock for UK5. We appreciate everybody watching. Hit that like button. Hit the like button for us. Thank you very much. We appreciate it.
Do it. Thanks, guys. Bye, everybody.
Good night, everyone.